It's time to mind your business with me, Jamila Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.
Hello, Kelsea. How are you?
Hi, Kelsea. I'm doing good.
Good. Welcome to the Mind Your Business podcast. I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining us today. And today we are here to talk about Uptimum Bodied, your business.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So let's first start by introducing yourself to our listeners. Who are you? What's Uptimum Bodied?
So my name is Kelsea Nazana Antonique Warren. I have a long name. So Optimum Bodied is a modern athleisure brand. I started just the idea in 2017, just like kind of trying to research how to create your own brand. I kind of was going through, some serious times, and I felt like, if I designed a really cute workout outfit, I would go.
Yeah.
Because your mindset is everything. And sometimes with fashion, we will go to places just because we look good. Mm-hmm. And so I had the idea just to start this outfit. I wanted to design this 90s outfit. Okay. And so that's kind of just how the idea started. So it's basically, it turned into more of a modern athleisure brand that encourages women to not just worry about looking good on the outside, but having that inward beauty that kind of shines way brighter.
Okay. What made you think of athleisure?
I guess that was because I was in the gym.
Okay.
And then I think just my overall personality and what do I do, what I do my day-to-day task. I've always been involved. So when I was in college, I'll probably be going to school, then the gym, then probably just running errands. Because I always had this entrepreneurial spirit, I was always kind of doing something business related. Okay. So I would need something that can take me from point A to point B, and jeans just wasn't doing it. And so I really got into leggings, and in 2019 when I did my master's, that's when I really discovered that the decline of jeans, the sales for jeans declined tremendously, and people were purchasing leggings. So it was becoming trendy, and just something that was functional. And so that's kind of how I just said, I discovered the athleisure terminology. Yeah. And just went with it. But that was 2018, 2017, 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love the athleisure sort of movement where
yes.
you don't have to look frumpy when you're working out.
No,
you can look cute going to the gym. But also it's gone beyond the gym now, right?
No, it is
people wear it anywhere.
It is a statement, and it's a staple piece for that soft girl era. Mm-hmm. It's also for, women that are, that have kids, that are just looking for that two-piece set, because usually with from my athleisure pieces, they come as a two-piece set usually. Okay. It's always going to be a two-piece set somewhere. Yeah. And women really just love that. So it goes for all of that, and then it has no limitations. Yeah. So that's kind of how Optimum Bodied was. That's one of the things we stood on, was being exclusive but inclusive at the same time.
I love
that. Yeah, so we had sizes from youth extra. So for the adults, we always kind of add that youth size, because some girls are extra really, really petite. Mm-hmm. And then we go all the way up to 3X. Yeah. And even further, we've done 5X before. So I love that the athleisure pieces, sweatsuits, all of that gives me more freedom to kind of, not saying that you can do that with other pieces, but the athleisure, and then they look good in it. Yeah. So it snatches the waist, it gives that hourglass, figure and everything.
Yeah, so. And it's comfortable.
How did I miss that?
So comfortable.
Comfy is just top tier. So when traveling, the women love it because it keeps you, warm, for the winter times. Yeah. And then, it's extremely comfortable. Oh, I forgot that part.
Love it. So tell us a little bit about the story behind the name Optimum Bodied. How did you come up with that?
Okay, so my brand is actually I am the face, I am the founder, I had the ideas, but I definitely have a strong support team, family, close-knit. So my brother's a graphic designer. He was a graphic designer, and my mom, I don't really have a name for my mom. I just called her.
She does everything?
She says she's the head boss in charge, I guess. She's the mother in charge, I guess. The MOB, that's what she calls it, mom in charge. So we were all deliberating, and I wanted something that meant more than just clothing. That kind of, you hear Optimum Body, just what is that? Or what does it really mean? And so we played with words, my mom, my brother. And so Optimum, OPTIMUM, it means your best level, the optimum best. And then UP, we changed from an OP to a UP because when you see that UP, that symbolization, you just think ascension. And so I just wanted to encourage anybody that no matter what you're going through, you know, you can always strive to be a better version of yourself.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
Bodied, at that time, and I'm still pushing this movement, it was to be better mentally, physically, socially, spiritually, like all those different realms. And so Body to me is just fully, you know, so you're just immersing yourself into like this higher form of elevation. So that's kind of how we just concocted Optimum Body.
Yeah.
And that was in college, like I said, 2018, 2019.
Well, it's great that you have such a story behind it and you've incorporated your family. And that essentially, does that help you moving forward in your business as far as like what you decide is your brand is going to be and things like that? Does that help you?
Family,
and then also the story behind the name.
So with the story, definitely when I first decided that this is what I wanted to do, at the time, social media was present, but it wasn't like this where you can really Google and find all the answers. I didn't know the simple terminology of like what manufacturing was or what it meant. I was just like, how do I make, like I have this sketch, how do I get it to this? So I remember Googling everything, finding this manufacturer in New York. The funny thing is that I had asked my mom for a Louis Vuitton bag when I graduated. Yeah. She didn't get me that at all. So a friend and her, they put money together. And so my gift, and one thing about me, I'm very convinced that if I say I want to do something, I'm going to come with the plan. I'm going to come like, this is how much it costs. This is like, I'm going to be ready. So
that's that entrepreneur in you.
I've been one. And so I remember telling my mom what I wanted to do. And I had this plan. And so for my graduation, when I opened up the card, it was like $3,500 or something like that to go and pursue, you know, what I wanted to do in New York. Because I had already found the company through like extensive research. But anyways, fast forward, the experience was beautiful, but it was horrible. It wasn't what I expected. I believe that my journey has been different because I've been able to help others, but the journey was different. And to get back to the question, so with all of those different struggles, because I've been through a lot, and then the meaning of what everything stands for. Recently, when my brother passed away, I honestly wanted to just quit the business. I literally, for months, I'm like, I'm going to delete this page soon. And I was just in complete darkness. And when I did get to that point of going online, because you have to go online to like really deactivate the page, the last post that I'd seen was a picture of my brother and I, and it said, like, we was wearing the shirts that say it's only up from here, and like the caption was, you know, don't ever give up, it's only up from here. So with like my business, it helped save me in that this is what I needed to kind of get back on and keep pushing. So it may seem like, oh, this is just a clothing brand, but it means so much more to me because it keeps me going in my day-to-day life. It keeps me pushing, and it kind of makes me think back of the branding of the why I started. And I think that's important for all entrepreneurs to discover your why.
Absolutely. You need a why, and it helps inform your mission of the business, right? And how you make decisions in the future and where your brand's ultimately going to go.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges that you have faced along your entrepreneurial journey?
What you mean? What haven't I faced? I am one of those entrepreneurs that have been through it all. One of the main ones I would say when I first started out, initially it's always sourcing the supplier, this manufacturer. If you're into clothing and you're trying to design, that is one of the most challenging. And it still is challenging to this day because you never want to just keep one or two. Anything can happen. Right. And I've experienced that. So that was one of the biggest challenges that I faced, because it's not just about the clothing. It has a lot to do with their practices, timeliness, cost, communication styles, respect, and things like that. So when you're looking for an ideal manufacturer, those are the things, the components that you're definitely looking for. So I struggled with, like, I will find someone and then they may see me winning. I know one instance I was doing really, really well. I just hit it off. My stuff went viral, and I was working with the gentleman, and he ran off with my product, took my money, and I didn't get it. I had to beg him. So 4 months later, I got it. But after that, I had found out he was already making my designs for someone else. So it's things like that that you go through, or if I've been through, that kind of deter you from continuing. So that was one of the biggest problems I went through. And then after manufacturing, if you do solidify a good manufacturer, no matter what, you may give a size chart, no matter what you may give, you're going to run into issues.
Right.
Sizing issues was one of my main things. And I've manufactured in Turkey, I've been LA, I've been New York, I've been China, I've been everywhere.
Yeah.
But sizing was always kind of like an issue. And so that's the importance of doing the sample stage.
Right.
Which kind of can prevent all of that. But there's a definite issue. So I remember one time I had the right sample. It was perfect. This is exactly what I needed. And then when production came, I think I ordered maybe 150 of these pink sweatsuits. They was incorrect. It was just details that were wrong. The GSM was wrong, and just different details. So I had to learn my business. I had to learn what makes my garment, my product, down to the threading, to the to every detail. It's details that you may think, oh, sweatsuit's easy to make, but when you're doing it from scratch, it is soon difficult. It's super difficult.
People don't think about
they don't
all these
think
details.
About that.
You're
No, you learn
me all
as
of
you
this.
go.
Yeah.
You really learn as you go. And experience is your best teacher. So it's not like I would take any of it back.
Yeah.
Another challenge I went through is more so like communication styles with the language barriers, right?
Correct, yeah.
Not even just the language barriers, the culture. So in different places, women are seen and not heard. So as a woman, if you're sitting there trying to tell someone what to do, what not to do, hey, you did this wrong, it's kind of frowned upon, right? Or they're not giving you the best answer, or they're trying to take advantage.
Yeah.
So I went through those like gender issues. And then another, and I'll wrap this one up, is more so another issue I went through is, I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with just the overall, trusting people and learning the importance of contracts, formalities, doing things the right way the first time. Because sometimes I would rush something and then, I wouldn't do a sample, I'll go right into production, and then that would just kind of mess everything up. So those are some key things. There's of course so many more. Financial, money problems, learning how to budget, not overly investing. I would put so much money into something, and just those different problems. But those are the main ones.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. We will be here all day, and I don't want to do that to you. We'll be here all day.
No, it's a lot, but it's definitely enlightening, and I'm sure our listeners as well, or anybody thinking of entering a clothing business. There's so many minute details that you have to think about. And especially as a business owner, you're going to go through the ebbs and flows of it, right?
Yep. Definitely.
So you have chosen a particularly hard industry, fashion, but then also retail. How do you make sure that Uptimum Bodied is the quality that you want it to be and stand out in such a saturated market?
So first and foremost, community is probably the best, well, let me say it's the foundation, or it kind of, that's what, the community is what really keeps your business together, and it keeps your business going. I make sure that I also have so this is just a little off, but I also make sure that I have a personal presence, because people shop directly with, nowadays people are shopping with the actual brand owner, the founder. That's who they're shopping with. So first and foremost, before retail, before online, I make sure that I constantly be transparent and I keep this community.
They buy into your presence, right?
They buy into
your
that.
brand.
Yes, so that is just first and foremost. So shout out to all my supporters. If you've ever shopped with me, I love you tremendously. So that's a part. And then going into retail and the fashion industry, online, wherever I am, and this is what I tell a lot of entrepreneurs, and I learned this from Courtney Adelaide. She's the CEO of Main Choice, and she used to drill into us, disrupt the industry. So if you're coming into this industry, come in with some message, right? Or come in with something that's innovative. So for me, in 2019, when things weren't working out with this other manufacturer in Turkey, there was a lady in LA in Turkey, so that wasn't working out. I'm like, I need something that's just gonna keep my brand out there. It's just gonna keep people, maybe a t-shirt, maybe something, but I always had this design of a two-tone sweatsuit. To be honest, this is what kind of changed my life. The two-tone monochromatic sweatsuit. Something so simple. This is what changed. I came into the industry and I disrupted the entire sweatsuit industry. People were doing solids and different things, but I came with a two-tone.
It's my first time seeing a two-tone sweatsuit.
And
it's cute.
When I first designed this sweatsuit, I didn't really think that people were going to like it, because I felt like it was loud. I felt like, who's going to want to wear that? And when I posted it, I was the first one. I posted it in December or January. December, I want to say it was like 2020. It went crazy. And so with the fashion industry, that is key. You want to constantly have something that is different, that's unique, that's innovative, or has like this important message that customers or your users will want to support. And so that has taken me to 2024. And I've had times like when I first launched it, I didn't have a manufacturer. I launched it, he ran over my money, and then I had no supplier. And AliExpress, Alibaba, these people were selling my sweatsuit. But still to this day, it's timeless. And what I do is now I probably do a little bit more subtle colors, and then I've introduced a lot of solids. So those are like my signature, but then I have solids. So I give variety. And then with retail, I'm learning to add more pieces that may be of low cost for me to make that may still help increase the average order quantity. So like socks and different things like that. And just keeping the message and the branding very clear. So that's what one of my main goals are for 2024 is all about the message.
Okay. I love that. What has been the most rewarding aspect of running your own business?
I would say inspiring others. And for other women or girls, or even just men to know that, you know, like especially coming from a small country and then being able to go to the United States and being able to grow and thrive, I think is very inspiring. So I think that is, you know, that is like what warms my heart. And my brother would say, oh, I thought that my true success was playing football. My brother was a good football player. But he said, it's so correct that I'm quoting him, but he said, true success for me is seeing the lives and the people that I've touched. And so I think that's why, to me, it's more than the clothing. You know, of course, I'm making sure that the quality is good and I'm giving you all the best, but just making sure that I'm able to touch people. So when you come in my store, you know, being able to, seeing people walk out happy with some items. I had a lady come in the other day with her daughter, and I've known her, you know, for years, and they were shopping for 24th of May. And I don't always speak on these type of things, but her daughter was getting something. And, you know, I just seen her there. You know, she was picking up stuff. She tried it on. She put it back. Because most times as mothers, what we do, we put our child first. And I bagged it up. I said, oh, you know, check out. And like, it's just free. That's for you, you know. And doing things like that, like, she was so thankful. And to me, that's what warmed my heart. Like using my platform to be able to help others. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not for everyone to come in the store and think everything is going to be free. Definitely not. But, you know, I just seen it on her face, and being able to give back is just so important. And then just like with the fashion industry, I'm super excited when I get nervous when I see people in my clothes. Like, I really do. Because if you spend $100 with me, like, that's not cheap. And, you know, the prices are increasing, so don't worry. But like $100, like anything, actually, even it could be 10, because you never know what people have in their pockets. But just to see that, you know, people are supporting me just really warms my heart.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes.
Really, really love to see your success. So you are businesswoman, entrepreneur, but it's not your full time, right?
Nope.
So how do you manage that? Because you've gone through all of these things, all these challenges, all the intricate details. How do you manage that?
I think, is it enough? Sometimes my friend texts me, she said, these are not the same 24 hours that Beyonce has. And I kid you not, it isn't. But I think prioritizing is very important. I've learned that you may have a list of tasks, but some of those tasks may not need to be done in this particular day. So what I've started to do is Tuesdays may be strictly for designing. Like, this is what I'm starting to do. Tuesdays strictly for designing, whether it's Marco's brand, my brand, whatever I'm working on, this is strictly for designing. And making sure that I'm able to delegate, like, other people to be involved in the process.
A team's important.
That is how I'm also being able to kind of start having this balance, because I'm used to doing everything on my own. I trust myself. I know that if I do something, it's going to get done. And so I feel like in scaling and really trying to get this like success or trying to be a successful brand, you have to build a team, a strong team. And so with work-life balance, it just goes into balance. I mean, not goes to balance, goes to prioritizing. And then now I'm trying to be more present with family and friends. clients.
Yeah.
So
you have to take time for yourself.
Yes. And that's what I don't do, but that's what 2024 I'm
You're
definitely going to do. Yes.
You're working on.
So after work, because people don't know that I have a full-time job yet. I haven't said it. So, but after work, I would go to the store from 5 to 7, sometimes 5 to 9. And then I will be up until like 12:01 talking to manufacturers and things like that. So, you know, it depends on how bad you want it as well. So I know that all the hard work that I do and I put in is going to pay off in the future. So I'm just ready. Like, I'm just ready. I'm just got this energy, especially when you've lost so much. When you get back up and you're ready to fight, it's just a different level of fighting. It's like, yeah, my gloves are on. God's got me. I got this.
And you can tell that you have passion, which helps fuel it as well. When you really love to do something and you have a good team behind you, it makes running your business
it doesn't
fun,
feel like
right?
a job.
It doesn't feel like a job. So that helps for sure. Do you use social media in your business? And if so, how does it help you?
Social media has been like the anchor. Although now I'm in this era where I want to go back to traditional marketing.
Okay.
So I'm about to kind of, not to put all my business out there, but social media has played a pivotal role in my personal life as well as my business. You know, you're able to connect with people that you would have never, you know, connected with. You meet people, influencers, other people are writing you, they see your brand. So I would give kudos. I think social media definitely is key, especially if you're trying to build your brand. You know, the use of hashtags, running ads, those type of things, you know, really do work and help with your business. Now, not to say I'm opposed to social media, but I am trying to get back into more traditional, since I have a retail store. So you may see some girls handing out flyers. I may put things in the mail. So I'm doing that just in case social media decides to like just go obsolete or something happens to it, that I still have this structure. But definitely build your social media presence, and not just with your business, but the personal. Helps me. My brand was able to grow because I had a strong personal following, and I'm very transparent on that.
And I think in Bermuda it's a bit different. We're such a small community where people do know you. You'll see you walking down the street, and so your personal brand and how you represent yourself every day does impact your business. Yeah,
it does. I do remember though, even with Bermuda, I do remember when I first was on social media, it was not even a thing. It was kind of looked upon. I used to post all the time. They'd be like, why is she posting all the time? So it was like it wasn't as, like, if you go to America. So I think, so I do feel that I have been impacted a little bit, definitely, actually, tremendously, even with my hustle from being in America for so long, over 10 years or 10 years. You know, they have used social media to really grow. They're millionaires. Some people are millionaires from social media. You know, you never know, you know, how big your presence can grow. So you're right, I'm correct with, you know, how different it is with Bermuda.
And America. Leaning on those traditional marketing tactics, like you said, in Bermuda, they're still working. Word of mouth is one of the strongest marketing things.
That is definitely 100% true. So I've learned to kind of mix certain things I do in America that I just don't need to do here, or I need to kind of do more of. So word of mouth, I would say in Bermuda has gotten me far. Because especially, so how I got in the airport was very much so like that in terms of Bermudians getting other Bermudians to wear it, and they're just talking about it. And that's why, you know, even when it comes to conflict, or not conflict, but resolution for customers, I always make sure I'm on it. You know, because you never know. And I'm not saying I kiss everyone's whatever, but just making sure that everyone leaves, you know, happy and they feel appreciated and stuff like that, because it just takes one bad apple to spoil the bunch.
In retail, customer service is so important. I know.
So this lady, actually, this young lady from Luso, she works there. She came in my store, and she was saying, like, she was telling someone how she really, really enjoyed coming in my store, because the moment she opened the door, it was, good afternoon, how can I help? So
it's
that's just something, you know, I always wanted to be a cashier when I was younger. Like, I always wanted to kind of be that, like, hey, welcome to my store. Like I was when I was little. So now that I have my store, that is the energy that you get when you step forward in my store. It's like, hello, how can I help? And she said that it was like very breathtaking, because she works, you know, at Luso, and so she's into customer service as well. And so she was, you know, taken back that, you know, especially someone so young as me still has that traditional type of interaction with the customers.
We have to keep that going in future generations and beyond, because it creates an experience when people walk into your store.
Yes,
and then they're more likely to buy, right?
That's what it is, the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say are some of the strategies that work better in the U.S.? So you sell both locally and in the U.S.
Yes.
What is that like, and how do you maintain that?
Okay, so the U.S. store is actually on pause.
Okay.
I paused it due to just trying to get Bermuda
on board,
get them ready. And I mean, like, in terms of the details and the fundamental things that need to be up and running.
Yeah.
But I could just give this off my head.
Yeah.
So in America, I would say influencer marketing works. I've used a few influencers to help propel and push my brand. And I did that subconsciously. I want to say the first girl, shout out to Das Dior, Jada Wada, Charlene, those ladies, Cherish. It was a group of them. So with that, I learned that not on purpose. I was, around, the Americans and how they were doing business. And I remember being on live, I seen this girl posting Charlene. She was like, oh, people were writing her saying, oh, can I send you some makeup and stuff? So I'm like, oh. Well, I might as well say, let me send you a sweatsuit.
Yeah, exactly.
So I remember I had just introduced the two-tone sweatsuit. I had sold out of my own.
Yeah.
And anyways, fast forward, she wore it, it blew up. She got Dusty on it, she got Jada in it, and it just went wild. Then 21 Savage got in it. Like, it was just crazy, yes.
Okay.
So influencer marketing has its pros and its cons because I didn't really have to pay much initially because they wanted it. I mean, you have a product that people want, it's kind of different.
Yeah.
When I wanted to scale further, I did use another influencer and I paid, and it didn't do as well as I wanted to do. So it kind of is hit and miss, but you need to get influencers that align with your brand and actually want to wear the pieces. So influencer marketing works. Of course, social media marketing works. Email marketing works. And email marketing, I have a lot of flows. So I send out campaign emails.
Yeah.
It's a lot of automations.
Yeah.
Put something in your cart. You're going to get an email that says da-da-da. And then traditional, I don't really do as much like traditional marketing, but in Bermuda I will.
Yeah.
So Bermuda still works with social media, not as much influencer I really wouldn't do. I would really work on that word of mouth and different things like that. So, and then maybe, no TV, maybe a little commercial to run like ads for Facebook and YouTube. But other than that, that's kind of just the difference.
It's really important that you recognize that there is a difference,
It
right?
is a big difference.
Because culturally it's different.
It's a big difference.
Demographically it could be different. So recognizing those differences and those changes that you have to make is super important to the success.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
And Bermudians are very much so. Not saying that overseas they aren't, but quality here, you have to have that. And that's one thing that I would say that I wouldn't say that I struggled. I would say with clothing, yes, I did, because even when I'm ordering a ton of shipments, not every piece. Sometimes you're going to have defective items. And it was a time where I was shipping out so many, I didn't have time to open each package. I usually pay my team that are making it to do that last quality control check. But I wasn't able to do it. And so sometimes in Bermuda, I never had big issues, but I maybe have one or two, just being transparent, where they'd be like, oh, this had a hole in it or whatever, and I would have to deal with that. So, that goes hand in hand as well. So quality is also making, like in Bermuda, is very much so, like, important.
Well, it seems like you have so much experience so far. You've learned so many lessons. I know from your perspective, you're probably like, I've got so much more to learn and so much more to do.
Yes.
But for anybody listening that wants to start their own business, what advice would you have for them?
Number is fashion industry.
Any industry.
I guess number one would definitely be your why. And to be honest with your why. Because like I said, when things get tough, and I know for me, I've experienced a lot of like turbulence and stuff like that. I'm not too sure if that's everyone's story, but I know that the reason I was able to get back and keep fighting is because I had a strong why. So I would definitely, push that. Your why. It could be like your message. You want to just do something that's different.
Yeah.
So that's important. And then second, I would definitely say to do things right the first way, the best that you can. Because going back to fix things is a little bit more time consuming, or also your business doesn't thrive, or it can really cripple the success of that, and costly. There's so many corners I wanted to cut that even the ones I did, it kind of cost me in the long run. So you want to do things the right way. And I'm always been a goody two shoes, so I always try to follow the laws. Like I had my logo was trademarked before I even really put it out. I had my business licenses and all those things, right? So that's important. And then the power of not giving up is also important. And I would definitely encourage any user, because starting your business, you could Google it now. You could go on TikTok and find out how to start a clothing brand, whatever. But, you know, everyone's story is unique. And sometimes we give up when we don't see the results. There have been times, and that goes into my point too, for entrepreneurs that are actually still out there that, you know, don't get to, what is the quote that I love? Basically, you know, don't let your losses, no, what is it? Well, I can't remember the quote. Don't get too high off your highs and don't get too low off your lows.
There you go.
And that's just basically it.
Yeah.
Because even in the entrepreneurial journey, it was times when I was making every drop like $18,000 a drop. And then it went down to a point where when I lost my manufacturer and stuff like that, I was doing like $5,000, and then it went to $2,000, and eventually it went to had to like get a new manufacturer, and so I was making nothing. And so, you know, being humble is always key in the industry, I think. Like understanding that who you are and whose you are is always important, and that, you know, giving yourself credit and being confident, but then being humble and being humilitant, that's the word, is also key in, you know, being an entrepreneur. So, and then never stop learning. I'm sorry, I have all these gems because it's like, I can think of this, but the most important is you're never too old to learn. Like you can always learn something. I'm learning every single day. There's so much more that I want to learn about my brand, about fabrics, about things. And I'm always open to, you know, people, you know, sharing new knowledge and stuff like that. So those are some tips.
The entrepreneurial journey is not for the faint
you know
of
that,
heart.
Kelsea.
It is not. You have to keep going, and you have to always find ways to motivate yourself.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be days where you just don't want to do anything. And it feels very overwhelming. But all of what you said is great advice for those wanting to come in. With that said, we're going to wrap up. But before we leave, what is the future of Uptimum Bodied? Where can people find you? What can we expect?
Yeah, so the future that I would have said was the future last year when I was on this last podcast is actually here, and it's been in the works. So Uptimum Bodied, we have a retail location.
Yeah.
The grand opening, I'm aiming for it to be September.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it is going to be an experience. You're going to want to come and shop. Like I said, it's more than the clothing. And so that is important to me. So to come, definitely the store is being in, like it's in during, we're going through last minute, like the furniture, getting all of that in and stuff like that. But, you know, that is what to look forward to. We have a new online store. So what we're doing is we're separating. It's Uptimum Body, but we have an Uptimum Body BDA. Then we have Uptimum Body like US and worldwide. So we have a new website launching for Bermudians to be able to ship, local delivery, all of those good things. And it's really yours, Bermuda. So the store, the online, it's for you. And this is just me, my gratitude for all of the support. Because you think when you put your face to something that people aren't going to support you, or they say people from your own country don't. Now, it was a little rocky, but not me. I've always had Bermuda support. And so we are there now, retail location. We have a few items left at the airport, and then we have our online store. And then we can always ship anywhere around the world, but that's, you know, being worked into. So that's just some of the things. Our Instagram handle is Uptimum Bodied, and then mine is Kelsea Nizana. So yes.
Well, yes, definitely go like, follow, share. And we look forward to what's to come from you and Uptimum Bodied. And I'm really excited. I need a sweatsuit.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Now, you need one of the new athleisure legging sets. They are really cute.
Okay,
yes.
I'll check those out for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Mind Your Business podcast. Because if you don't mind your business, who will?
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kelsea.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamila Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.